Hi guys, and welcome back to Steelers Fan TV. It's been a long time since I spoke to the camera personally, and today I just want to be talking about sort of how the off season's gone so far, sort of in comparison to last season, in a way. But obviously, I do want to focus on this season more because it is a promising season, and we will see a lot of changes. I think on the ice, I just think it's going to be so much better, and I'm personally very excited for it. Um, Last season, I wasn't excited at all because obviously the roster wasn't good. We looked lackluster. I went to watch one preseason friendly last year, and it was crap. It was the one against. It was the second weekend. It was the Sunday game of the second weekend, and it was really, really poor. I think it was against Poprad or something like that. But it was just really poor, and I just remember the game thinking, this is going to be a long season, you know. And then, obviously, the few weeks later, we played MK at home, and, oh, we don't talk about that. But this season, the how we look in comparison to last season is almost unrecognisable because we have players that are literally so much better. The CVs look incredible, and we're not signing players simply because we need to fill in the gaps very quickly. We've started early. We've looked good since late July, which is quite good, saying that gives us at least 3 weeks before the start of pre-season. But because of that, I think it'll give the team confidence to go forward, and obviously, with confidence comes results. Now, the 31st of August is the one that I'm personally focusing on in terms of what should be the barometer of how the season's going to go. Nottingham Panthers at home on a Saturday night. I think that's a good way to start the season. I mean, there'll be quite a big crowd for it. You know, everyone will be up for it. The Panthers will be up for it because they're out to prove a point. With the roster that they have, they're not looking great. Obviously, me being a Steelers fan, and me getting pointed out on several occasions recently that I just keep talking about the Panthers. I've tried to stop it, really. It's only to wind them up, but looking at their roster compared to ours, the Panthers don't look as good. And I think they'll admit that. I mean, they've got Mark Matheson in defence, who wasn't that good for us towards the end of his career with us, because he was playing through injuries, and he's quite injury prone. And I mean, to bring him into a side with Tim Wallace, obviously as the manager, I think it shows what the Panthers are aiming for this season. I reckon the Panthers will be aiming to win the Challenge Cup because of the side they have. They look similar to the Guildford Flames of last season. I think the Guildford Flames will drop off this season, in a way. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that this will sort of also be tied in with a league prediction. So back to the Steelers. Yesterday it was rumoured that Pavel Cantor, the goaltender, had posted a picture of his mask on Instagram. Now, I don't know what fans make of that, but it's quite a giveaway as he should be coming to the side if he's posting pictures of his Steelers hat. I mean, it'd be weird if I posted a picture of a Steelers shirt if I was a professional hockey player and then say, oh, you know, I'm signing for Fife. That would be a bit weird. So Cantor should be coming to us. People have been saying that he's more of a backup goalie more than anything, with decent stats. I haven't personally looked at his stats yet, even though that's the first thing I should have done, but I just saw the picture of his helmet and I was like, I'll tweet this, I'll see what people think. It seems like people are saying, oh yeah, he should be coming. And that's about it. Apart from that, we need 2 more keepers. Now, goaltenders have been a problem. I mean, Mustakov's had problems off the ice. He was a fantastic goalie on the ice, but off the ice, he was defending the wrong goal, sort of. Unbelievable. Last season, Jackson Whistle, Matt Climby didn't work out. Matt Clammy come in, looked good at first, organised his defence. Wasn't particularly great towards the end of his spell with us, and subsequently got released. Now, Jackson Whistle, same again. His performance has picked up towards the end of the season, maybe after Matt Clammy went, because his confidence got up again. But he wasn't good enough. And that is the long and short of it. Jackson Whistle wanted to be a number one goalie at us, but Aaron Fox basically said, no chance. You know, you're going to take a wage cut, less time, ice time, and Whistle having none of it went to the Panthers. I mean, it's a theme at the minute, going to the Panthers for some reason, but that's how it is. Obviously, Brandon Whistle, it's a bit of a shame about Brandon Whistle because he could have developed with the Steel Dogs, but I think it sort of got to him that he would probably be at the more playing for the Steel Dogs than he would for the Steelers, and that sort of killed him a little bit. And subsequently he left, and well, no, he didn't leave. We released him, and he's sort of just going to be playing for a side. We don't really know who he's going to be playing for. The Steelers roster is looking a bit stacked. It's looking quite good. We're looking very strong. And obviously, we just need the goaltenders to be announced, and then that's it. That's it complete. Now, to have it complete a couple of weeks before the start of the season is quite a good sort of thing to do, because obviously you'll get time to adjust. A couple of weeks of training, a couple of friendlies against. I think I might have even got my teams wrong here. I don't really know. It might be Pop we're playing this season. Were it Minsk? Actually, Minsk, I think it were last season. No, that was Continent. Oh, doesn't matter. I know I'm not there for them. I'm not there for any of the pre-season friendlies. I'm only there for the 31st of August. So I haven't really been focused on them. And I personally don't like pre-season games. I find them very boring. I prefer to wait to the first Challenge Cup game or the first league game, and that's what I do with obviously Sheffield Wednesday as well. I just prefer to wait for the league, except I went to the friendly the other week because I just got bored. But pre-season friendlies are a good sort of performance measurer, if you like. They help to see how the team's going to gel, how it's going to adjust to sort of playing circumstances. Usually we play at our Sheffield, the pre-season games, but we've got 2 at our Sheffield and 1 at Sheffield Arena. Now, I think it is a good idea to have one at the Sheffield Arena because it allows the new players to adjust to the atmosphere and to adjust to the fans and the size of the arena, because it's quite a big arena. It's quite intimidating for new players to come to. Obviously not if they played at bigger arenas, but to come to the Sheffield Arena to see what it's like, I think that's a good idea by the club. Obviously then the week after we play as pre-season game, we play at home to the Nottingham Panthers. And for me, that is the biggest game out of all of them, because that just that will set a tone for the season of how we want to go out. Good game against the Panthers equals a happy squad, happy fan base, happy coach. Bad performance against the Panthers at home. First game of the season, well, technically, but first game of the Challenge Cup. To get a result against the Panthers would be good. And I think everyone would admit that, really, that we just need that result in that game. Obviously, the rivalry is a bit dead, not technically, because I think it would have been against the Panthers at Boxing Day if both teams had home ice on the 27th, or availability on the 27th, but obviously we didn't, so we're now playing Manchester. And I think Manchester will slowly overtake Nottingham as the biggest rivals to play. People might disagree with me on that, but I do think it will happen eventually, and the sort of Steelers-Panthers rivalry will be forgotten a little bit, and it will just be another game very soon. Obviously, I don't really want that to happen because it brings in revenue for the club, especially when it's against the Nottingham Panthers, because everyone says, oh yeah, there'll be a fight. Well, there isn't really, but, I think there's been about 2 fights in the last 4 seasons or something like that, but, that's how I see it, really. So, now that we've got the squad sorted, more or less, well, we will have it sorted, but we just won't have announced the goalies yet, basically. I do think it is time to kick on. And I haven't seen much about the sort of base camp. I don't know what it's called. It's like when they all come together and sort of do their pre-season tests and stuff like that. I know a few of the players have been on the ice. I know that it was said that Kieran Brown has been training in Bradford rather than Sheffield. I remember Liam Kirk's also come to Sheffield and Sheffield to get on the ice and sort of get back at it, which is good for him as well. And yeah, I'll move on swiftly now to the next section of the video, really. And this is more about the sort of my league predictions. So, I'll go from 10 to 1. Now, obviously, sometimes I'm controversial on Steal the Puck. When I'm tweeting on that, it's sort of... I do sometimes try and wind fan bases up on purpose, and it is just really for them to go, he's just winding us up, he's not really that bad. I mean, I've had quite a lot of Panthers fans on strings recently, but it is all a joke. But this isn't. And I will release an article at some point with my revised sort of predictions, but here's what I'm thinking now. Number 10. Dundee Stars. Now, I'm sorry, Stars fans, but you're just sort of the running theme of finishing in that sort of lower category. And I just think it'll probably happen again. Okay, number 9. Manchester Storm. Now, Manchester Storm finished second a couple of years ago. Somehow, still don't know, we were so much better than them throughout the season. We finished third, Manchester finished second. I've not seen anything like it. First season Ryan Vinity, obviously after Omar Pasha left. But they're not good anymore, last season they weren't good. And now they've lost quite a few of their main players. Obviously yesterday they signed Lane Ulmer. But still, one player cannot change a team. And that's what I'm thinking of them. So 9 Manchester. So them 2 won't make the playoffs this season. 8 Coventry Blaze. The annual 8th place, 7th place, 9th place, whatever you want, finishers. They're just going to be there and thereabouts. Loss of Ben Lake. It's not really been sort of replaced. And Coventry aren't necessarily the best team on paper. But I think they'll make the playoffs just like they have done for the last few years. 7 Guildford Flames. Now, I'm not being mean to the Flames here. I'm sort of being how I think it is. They've had quite a good season last season. They had a wonder first season, really, like with the squad they had. And I think they will they'll finish 7th. I think that it's an alright season, isn't it? 7th place, it's not terrible. It's like the Steelers had last season, but obviously it was a bit of an anomaly for us. But I think Guildford will finish 7th. 6th. Now, this is the sort of stage in this where fans will get annoyed at me. 6. Who are we going with? I think 6th and 5th is sort of quite a difficult one. I'm going to go 6th, Nottingham Panthers. And that will annoy them. And I don't want it to, because I don't like it when they come at me. And then, in fact, no, sorry, 5th. It's 6th, 5 Flyers. They're unorganised. 5th, Nottingham Panthers. Panthers, they're not that great. They haven't been that great. They haven't been really better than us in the last few seasons. They just finished higher than us. They finished higher than us last season. Somehow, I mean, we had the number all season, but at the end of the day, stuff happens. 4th, Glasgow. Now, Glasgow fans hated me after something I tweeted last season, that they were a very beatable side. Now, they are very beatable. But it was just my luck that they beat us 6-1 and 6-0 on home ice. I think that sort of was maybe the worst time as a Steelers fan ever. I don't know. You never heard end of it on Twitter. I think genuinely trending in Sheffield at one point was Glasgow after we played them. I don't want to talk about it. Third. Now this is where it gets hard because I don't want to say that Steelers will finish first because people will be like, oh, it's just a bias account. Third, Belfast. Now, Belfast obviously won the league last season. They won the Challenge Cup. Nearly did the full thing. I mean, I wish they did, but they didn't. And obviously Cardiff won the playoffs. But third place, I think, for Belfast with the amount of players they've been losing. Obviously, they've been replacing them with the bigger players from sort of the bigger leagues. They've recently signed one that said to have NHL experience, or like something like 8 minutes of NHL experience, something like that anyway. But I think Belfast third, without winning anything, would be my guess. It is just a guess. It's not. Well, it's an educated guess, but yeah. It'll probably differ, but obviously we'll come back to this video at the end of this season. Second, I'm gonna hate myself for this because people are gonna say you're just deluded. Cardiff. Right. The reason for me putting Cardiff here is because I don't like them. Steelers first, because they're my team. Now, whether this happens or not, I don't know. It remains to be seen. I'll be so red-faced at the end of the season if we ended up finishing 6th. Aaron Fox getting sacked at Christmas, all players leaving, and us having to play youngsters from Sheffield Scimitars or something like that. Not Scimitars, they're not a team anymore, but something stupid. If that happens, then I'll just cry, because this video is meant to be an educated guess. But if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. I'm just going to have to ride it out. I'm just going to have to take the abuse from anyone and everyone. But I'm going to say Steelers will win the league this season. And that is when I swiftly end the video. So I hope you've enjoyed. I hope screen recordings aren't going to come and like bite me at the end of this season. If I'm saying the Steelers are going to finish first, they end up like losing out. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'll see you when I next come and sit at my desk and film a video. Cheers.